G'day, beard brethren, Sheilas, fuckheads, and just all round legends. Welcome to another week in the lead up to Christmas of Two Beards, a podcast, and Wrexham AFC, the podcast all about Wrexham. From your boys, Rousey and Adrian here from Australia. What more can you ask for? Just two good-looking geezers just wanting to bring you the news. Adrian, mate, how you going?
Yeah, going well, mate. Going well. It's that time of year. It's time to kick back, spend time with the family. It's winding up to New Year, and you know, kind of ready for another year of Wrexham.
That's right. That's right. I am looking forward to this home run in. So, obviously, this is a little bit pre-recorded. Spoiler alert, because Adrian's off gallivanting in Japan. And there's no two beards without the other beard. I can't do the show without Adrian. He's my boy. So, you know, here we are. We are a very special Christmas episode. We thought we'd bring all of our fuckheads in. I don't know if all of them are going to show, but most of them I hope will be here. So yeah, and this is a program that me and Adrian obviously run. It costs $5 a month. You hear us advertise it every single fucking week because we want more fuckheads. We love our fuckheads. They're great, aren't they, Adrian?
They're great. They're good people, and I think the best part is, whether one of them rocks up today, whether it's all of them rock up today. I think the best part is they're all just genuinely good people, and maybe they don't want to get in front of the camera today, but they're still willing to delve into their pockets to give to our program to help continue this podcast and get things up and running. So yeah, $5 a month. Feel free to join us as well. But in the Discord, they're just the absolute livelihood of this joint, and we're just so happy to have them. Really.
Yeah, it's quite a little community we got there. So $5 a month gets you access to our fans only Discord, gets you 10% off merch from our merch store, shout outs, giveaways, and a whole lot more that we do only just for our fuckheads.
Yeah.
But
just for them.
Yeah, just for because we love them. So guys, if you want to join up, links will be down below. And after this, we will be joined by none other than the fuckheads. Let's go.
The fuckheads.
Well, here we are, Christmas episode, and it would just only be right to include our very own fuckheads. We've got two of them here with us today. We've got Chris. Chris, shout out, where you from?
Ho ho ho, bitches! How you doing? I live in the great state of Connecticut in the U.S. of A.
Oh, awesome, awesome! And we got the mighty Aaron. How you going, mate?
I'm doing fantastic, and I live in the even better state of Indiana.
Oh, fuck off.
I love it. The rivalry kicks off.
So
I can't understand how the Civil War started now. I feel like that's how it started. Like they were all Wrexham fans and they were just like fighting over which was best. No, that's how I understand it.
Yeah,
Not
that's
far off.
absolutely
Civil
right. It's
War.
totally right.
Who's enslaving who? What the fuck?
Well, Jesus Christ.
What a start.
Wow, this took a really dark turn. Really
This
fast.
took a turn. This took
Real
a turn.
fast.
I
I
didn't
was
mean
just
to
talking
do
about
that.
I was
I'm
just
so
I was just
sorry.
talking about like Captain America Civil War. It was a great film. And I just was trying to refer to that. You just ruined it, Rousey. You're referring to, a dark part of history.
Oh, boys. So you've all managed to grace us with your presence here today, and you of all people know we value our fuckheads quite a lot, especially when you're able to put up with my high ass every single night putting random shit on the fucking Discord chat. But
It's a path of what is it? What is it? Path of, what do you call it? Like you know what I'm talking about? It's the
no
path of
no idea.
breaking into something new. they had to take it. It's like a hazing, like we're a frat. That's what we.
I thought we were more of a cult, but that's just me.
Cult,
But
yeah, actually, no, definitely cult. We definitely drink the Kool-Aid here. That's for sure.
I want to know this because in Australia we've got some really, really backwards laws, but which out of the two of you owns guns?
I do.
You don't?
no,
I do.
gosh, no.
Aaron does? Have you got one of them
Yeah, I
big
actually
sexy
I've
ARs or
been
what?
no, I just regular, just a hunting rifle. I do a lot of hunting around here, so hunting's big in this area.
Fuck
See,
yeah.
see, Chris was like straight to the fucking like just the meat of it. He's like, you know what? I just know about America, and the thing I know about America is guns. So he's just gone straight for the jugular. I was waiting for Chris to be like as in Rousey to go, we have guns here in Australia. I've got one here and then one here. Like I was kind of waiting for that, but he didn't bring him out to play today, did you, Rousey?
No, I've got a different type of gun. That just a different
What, a
type
pea
of gun.
shooter?
A little pea shooter.
Pea shooter,
Oh,
super
Jesus.
soaker, one of them.
So, I'll start with Chris. What made you decide to become a fuckhead?
I don't know. Well, I've been
Regret.
following Wrexham for a bit. I got into them pretty much as soon as the takeover happened, actually. I'm a huge fan of It's Always Sunny and specifically Rob. So and being that's in the pandemic, I'm a obsessive sports gambler. So anything I could gamble on at that point, I was doing a lot of gambling on Ukrainian ping pong and all kinds of random sports. But English League actually brought soccer, football, whatever, back in earlier than the United States brought sports in. So I was just desperate, craving sports. So I was actually listening during the Dean Keats years, and Mark Griffiths is actually the one who drew me in. His commentary, as we all know, is just there's only one Mark Griffiths, but yeah,
Yeah.
just listening throughout. And then I'm a big podcast listener. With my job, I do a lot of walking around by myself, and came across your pod, and I thought it was kind of a different take on it. A lot of them are a lot more PG, or it's all done by locals, as you know, and getting an outsider where I'm from, obviously the States. I don't live in Wales. Being able to get it from an outsider's perspective like my own was kind of drew me into it, and then getting to know the guys as well. And now spending time with you guys on match day, it's been fun. It's been enjoyable.
That's what it's all about. What about yourself, Aaron?
Yeah, same thing. I mean, similar. Saw it through the doco, and then watched. Kind of kept track, like after the first season of the documentary, we kind of kept track of the team, but didn't, wasn't watching or anything. But then just slowly towards the end of the season, last season, as we were getting closer and closer, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and buy National League TV, watch the games, and then it just got hooked, totally got hooked into it. Now the kids are totally hooked. So we're diehard Wrexham now. We went to Philadelphia, watched the preseason game over here in Philadelphia, and that was a good time. And then that was when I'm pretty sure our trip to Philadelphia was the first time I listened to your guys' podcast, because I was just looking for content, you know what I mean? And
I
then
remember.
because
I actually remember
yeah,
this
and I
because
was yeah, we were messaging
you did
back and
like a
forth
live
on
feed.
Twitter. Yeah, we were doing all kinds. Yeah, we had all kinds of stuff going on. Yeah, it was a good time. So that's how I got into watching you guys.
That's
Good.
so funny because like I remember it. My like face lit up because I was like, I actually specifically remember this moment because it was really cool because when you start out, you don't have many people responding to your Twitters or whatever. And so we got that kind of message out there and we're like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then we get this video of, like, I'm pretty sure it might have been on the way back from Philadelphia. Um it was just like you in the car, like with the fam, listening to the podcast. And me and Rouse were like, I remember we messaged each other being like, oh my God, there's someone in a car not being forced to listen to us. Like they're choosing to do this. Like
Yeah.
crazy. Like, I always make the joke, like, to Rousey, especially early doors. I was like, the only people who are going to watch us, our parents and, maybe a friend or two. Like, that's as big as it'll ever get. So to have people like yourself, Aaron, and Chris as well, from the States, it blows our freaking mind.
Oh, it absolutely does.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
awesome.
it does. And I've always loved the US. It's a place that's fascinated me. Being a bikie myself, the motorcycle culture over there really gets me. So and it's something I want to experience one day. But
Yeah.
Would
yeah,
you call it a bikie?
yeah, yeah. I'm a
Oh, that makes
bikie.
it sound very feminine. A bikie.
Yeah,
Not the
like,
type that wears lycra.
no. Like, I think it's so funny because in Australia, like, bikies, you are a part of a gang that literally breaks the law, or does things that's the unfortunate terminology that Australians have put that twist on bikie. So if anything, it's actually kind of the opposite in Australia, which is so funny you say that, because you're right. Bikie as a word is quite, it's kind
Oh,
of
little Adrian, do you want to
different.
go for a ride on your
Good,
little
what?
bikie?
You want to go on your
Go ride on your
bikie?
little
Yeah.
Little
bikie?
Bucky.
It's exactly what it sounds like. But in Australia, if you're like, oh, there's a couple bikies sitting over at the next table at the cafe, you're like, shit, okay. Just be vigilant because someone might be shot up in a minute, or like, you're like, it's
Wow.
like a genuine thing, which is funny because Rousey sits really in the middle of that boikie and bikey. Like, he really sits in the middle of that. So
Yeah, well, I'm not a Hell's Angel or anything like that, so let's not go that far. But I do like to ride my Harley around. It's a pretty sweet experience. So, but it does come with certain stigmas attached to it, which the media, we can blame that on the media. But
exactly, yeah,
fuck
it's a mainstream media that blows it out of proportion.
it. Oh dear. So
See, here's my problem. My problem with bikes is that we've got too many deer and stuff like that around here. So
Shit.
if I hit a deer on a bike, I'm dead.
Yeah, fuck.
So I don't.
I don't
I've
know,
never wanted
Aaron.
anything to
Mate,
do
you
with
are
them.
built like a brick shit house, mate. I think that deer would be dead.
That's
Well, I'm sure it
crazy.
would too. But like
That's
even
something
just
that you
something
never think
little,
of.
Yeah, I've always been scared to like hit something on it. I'm like, I don't want to. My dad used to ride a bike, ride a motorcycle. I'm like, nah, not my thing, not my thing. I need four wheels.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm a I'm a carry.
Sorry.
I ride my Kia. And I think I'm
In
pretty
other words, you're a
badass.
poofter.
Yeah. It's a powder blue. It's the love of my life, and it's just literally it's
He
a car.
drives it wearing pink skirt and gloves.
And I'll never change, and I'll never change.
Oh dear. So Chris,
Oh, shoot.
question for you, mate. I know you've come on here and you're probably not feeling the best. It's but where you're from, is it getting pretty cold at the moment?
Yeah. I mean, it's probably down in during the winters, yeah, it's freezing, it snows. It's down in the 40s right now, but yeah, I mean, we're heading into our winter season, so days are getting a lot shorter. Yeah, no, I mean, we have a pretty good in New England. We have a pretty good all four seasons, which is kind of nice. I used to live in Texas where it's just hot and hotter, like probably what you kind of live with down there. But up here we get a nice fall, nice winter,
New
spring and
England.
summer. So it's kind of nice to have all four seasons again in my life.
So does that mean if you're living in New England, you're a Patriots fan?
Oh, of course. Yes, of
Yeah.
course.
Is it?
See,
I'm all
see, this is
Boston.
the this is the tribalism of, like, the US sports, that, like, in Australia there is a pretty big following of, like, NFL and NBA and things like that. But they're, like, really, like, people just pick them because of whatever time of their life that was whatever. So there's a big Lakers following because, in the 2000s, they were pretty good. There's also a lot of Celtics fans because of the same thing. Whereas it's interesting because it's exactly how it is here. It is where you're born is what you go for. Like my A-League team, so my football/soccer team in Australia is Melbourne City, even though I live in Adelaide. That doesn't change because I've just moved. But for you guys, has your sports teams moved in your time? Like, how like in America, it seems to be like relocation is actually something that happens. Like teams get absolutely uprooted and moved. Does that something that happens often or has happened to
Um,
your team?
Oh, well, I mean, being a Boston fan, it's one of the largest cities in the country, so it wouldn't happen particularly in the Boston area. But yeah, I mean, for instance, the Oakland Athletics are now going to be the Las Vegas Athletics. They're a baseball team. And then, of
Wow.
course, you have the Raiders. The Oakland Raiders are now the Las Vegas Raiders. They've already moved. Oklahoma
Damn.
City Thunder used to be the Seattle Supersonics. It's pretty I mean, I wouldn't say it's super common. That's one of the things that really actually attracted me to English League is the fact promotion and relegation. That's something that we don't have here in America. It's either your team's not doing well, they just relocate to another city. And I don't know. That's kind of one of the things that really fascinates me about the English League, as well as just their passion for one sport. And Aaron
Yeah.
can probably speak to this. It's well, we have the big four, football, basketball, hockey, baseball. You can throw NASCAR. I don't know. We had so many sports on there. And on top of that, you also have professional, college. You go to Texas,
Hmm.
high school football is bigger than pro football. I mean, it
That's
really is.
crazy.
So
I was
there's
actually
That's
going to
different
so
ask
crazy.
sublets of
about.
that on top of it. Where in England, or in the UK, it's just soccer and that's it, which is really
Damn.
fascinating to me. So the passion that they get out of it is it's different than over here. I wouldn't say one is more passionate than the other, but the fact that it's so pinpoint focus on one team and one sport is really fascinating to me. I mean,
For
I follow
sure.
like 7 teams. If you go into my ESPN app, it's like 7 teams up there, from all
Yeah.
different sports,
Geez,
different levels. I'm a UConn Huskies fan,
I have
that's my
trouble
that's my
keeping up with
college team,
two.
University of Connecticut. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So I have trouble keeping up with two, let alone seven.
Yeah.
But I think what really interests me about the US system, and I was having a chat with a friend that from where was he from? It's that state just north of Utah, Idaho. That's right, from Idaho. And
Geography.
yeah, that's right. um I was chatting to her. She's from Idaho, and explaining the whole American system to me, and then that high school football and college football in some aspects is bigger than the NFL. It's just the NFL is probably more commercialized, but people tend to get more
Yeah.
tribal over high school games and college football. Would that be a fairly accurate statement?
It's
I
regionalized.
think
Go ahead, Aaron. Sorry, go ahead, Aaron.
I was gonna say I think so. I think around here for sure. I think what you're getting ready to say is regionalized. I think certain areas it's a little more tribal than others. I know you brought up Texas. I think high school football in Texas it's a whole different thing. But for here, I mean, it definitely seems like our fans around here will get. I mean, a lot of people around here are Indianapolis Colts fans, as far as football. But then and they'll go to games and they'll enjoy games and they'll cheer for the team. But then when it comes down to like high school football and their local school is, you know, competing in the state playoffs, they go absolutely nuts. Like it's complete, it's a different it's crazy how it seems like the smaller you get, the more tribal it gets, and even in college football, I think college football, it seems a lot more tribal, compared to the NFL stuff. Like for me myself, as far as the NFL goes, I'm a Jacksonville Jaguars fan. I mean, they're what 1,000 miles away. You know what I mean? But as a kid, I just kind of, I was always just rooting for whatever team was good. And then finally, my dad made me pick a team, and so I decided when the Jaguars came into the NFL, I was like, okay, I'll go with them. And so I've been a Jaguars fan ever since. But I
I
don't get
like that.
tribal over it. I don't get tribal over I mean, I love the Jaguars. I enjoy going to games when I get a chance. They come up here to Indianapolis every year, so I try to go to that game if we can. But I don't get tribal over it like I don't get into it like I would, the local football, local high school or some of the college stuff. So
Yeah, I
Well,
mean, here in
that's a
New England, we don't really care at all about college football. I mean, we don't have, there aren't any very good college football teams in New England, nor high school football either. It's not really a big deal here. That's not to say within that town there isn't a big following. You know what I mean? Within a
no,
local
that's
town,
right,
but
right,
as a
right.
whole, as a region, no one gives two shits about high school football around here or college football for that matter. I mean, there's no
Is
real
it
draw. It's more
true?
about profession. It's more about professional sports in New England than it is about the
the
college game.
college
But again,
system.
that changes area to area. So
Yeah,
like, and then so then to get back to the EFL, it's like it's so neat to me that everyone's focused on this one sport. It's no variety, which I find
for
rather
sure.
Yeah.
interesting.
Is it true? And I quite admire the differences between, say, Aussies and Americans and Brits and Welsh people. The different cultures fascinate me. But is it true that if you are a certain political way, so if you're left or right, you can't go into certain areas that are, say, left leaning or right leaning, being that side of the political fence?
Man, you're
Like,
asking fucking tough questions, man.
well, I'm just
Yeah,
curious.
this is tense. Didn't realize I was on.
I've
Yeah, but
never,
no, I mean,
I've never experienced that. I no, but
Nah,
usually I think a lot of that stuff gets built up in the media,
for
and
sure.
then when you're face to face, I'll be honest. The last question I'm going to ask you is who you're going to vote for. Like I don't care. Everybody,
Yeah,
let's just be friends. Let's have a drink and have fun. You know what I mean?
That's
Let's all get
it.
together and enjoy football or whatever we're enjoying that day. Who cares
that's
what
the
your
Aussie way
political
right there.
alignings are?
That is the
It's the same
epitome
thing.
Yeah.
of the Aussie way, Aaron. Are you sure you weren't born down here or what?
Well, but it's
I
that.
don't think so.
No, he's like, I'm pretty sure. Like, I mean, Aaron, your dad's Crocodile Dundee. Don't play it down. All right, it's fine. Like,
I was trying to keep that on. I was trying to
yeah, under
keep that on
wraps.
the down low, but
But it's a really good point because, in Australia, politics in any sense of the word. I mean, maybe
There
it's
he is.
changing lately. There he is. There's his dad. See, he's got his family picture ready. That's pretty damn good.
yeah.
But
See,
see, he's got it ready. But no, but like it's the same thing in Australia in the sense that I don't know, it's changing lately, but it used to be, you don't really talk about who you vote for. Like it was almost a private thing. Like, if you were in a queue to go vote, you're not like talking about it with the guy behind
Well,
you or the guy in front of you.
granted, down here it's compulsory to vote. Like you can't
Yeah,
not
in
vote.
Australia,
You
yeah,
have to
it's you got
vote.
to.
So,
mhm.
Well, I've paid fines for not voting, and it's purely because
Wow.
dependent on what why the reason why. But like, I always don't like the idea that I have to vote if I don't have an educated educated pick.
Mhm.
Like, I don't like the idea that my vote's just going to be a donkey vote that could help someone that I just don't know or I don't understand. So, especially in my
you're one of
earlier
these
teens.
people that go in and draw a penis on the voting form.
No, no, dude. Like, I wouldn't even
I
go.
have.
Like, I'd get the fine in the mail, and it escalates the more you miss. Like the first time I think I missed it, it was like $20, and I was like, oh yeah, $20 to not miss a vote, whatever, no worries. And then it escalates. It's like $200, $300, $400, $500. Like, and it's like, and it just kind of picks up the more you don't do it. And it's something that I don't disagree with in this country is, yeah, I get why it's compulsory to vote because they want everyone's opinion, but I find there's going to be a large portion of the population that are uneducated in that, including myself, that aren't going to make an educated decision. But
No joke, I got my driver's license suspended because I did not vote in daylight savings. We had a daylight savings
Oh
vote a
wow.
couple of years back, and I didn't vote because I didn't think it was compulsory at that time, especially for that one. And next thing I know, I'm pulled over by the police, handcuffed on the side of the road. No license, saying my license is suspended. I'm driving without a license. I'm like, what the fuck? And then when I found out what it was for, I'm like, you cunts! Like, what the fuck? Like, of all things, really? what has driving a car got to do with me voting for the sun being up for an extra couple of hours? Like,
Yeah,
bring that sun
that's a
down
cool.
sooner
Wow.
so you can break out the fucking candles and get to business.
But it's like he's like he brings it to a full circle point where it is cooked. Politics is cooked in every country, whether you're talking here, you're talking
Mhm.
there, and it's something that, like you said, Aaron, it is fuck it, who cares? Just let's. And the best part about I love about Wrexham, and something I want to ask you guys in just a moment, but like one thing I love about Wrexham is that there is a big movement, to being about the town and about the area. And yes, it's about Wales as well and as a whole, but it's mainly about that North Wales region and, how politics works there. And it's just about unifying the town, and it's what's best for the town. Whereas I find
Mhm.
at least in Australian politics, it can be put it into a more federal look. Whereas, I don't know, from an outsider's perspective, it does seem like a really good community feel. Well, what would be, and I'll ask you this one to Chris, if you, Wrexham, the doco, so obviously you saw the doco after you obviously found out about the club and things, so it happened a little bit later on for you. But was a community another big reason why you follow Wrexham?
Kinda. Not, I mean, probably less than most people, to be honest. Yes, the documentary is cool, but I just love It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I just always fucking loved it. And I've always been a passive Liverpool fan. I'm a Red Sox fan, and the Fenway Group, who owns the Red Sox, also owns Liverpool. So I've always been a passive fan, especially when the World Cup comes. I'm your typical American soccer, World Cup comes around, I'm into it. I'll follow it for another year, and then I get out of it. It was more the lower league that got me into it. Over here, I mean, other even now at the college level, even college players get paid absurd amounts of money now at this point over here. But just knowing that there's a few guys on the team that heck, I probably make more money than, and just knowing that they're everyday guys that's out there doing a job. The community stuff is cool. I love seeing it. A community obviously thrive within that area. But
Yeah.
for me, it was more about the sport and the athletic of it, and it just really drove me in, and also just the whirlwind of the situation that they've been on. I mean, you couldn't have played it better for television. I mean, the failure of a couple years in a row, them winning it all, and there's a lot of great characters within that team and a lot of great stories within that locker room, which I really enjoyed. And I love to see the town do well. But I mean, you can find a Wrexham anywhere across any country, anywhere. I don't think that's. I mean, I think it's a great town, and I think there's some great people there. But there's a million Wrexhams in the world. I don't think
Yeah.
that's what really
But there's
makes
only
it quote
one
unquote
Elliot
special.
Lee.
You
But
know, I
no, I
like
mean,
that. I like that. I like that
I
answer
still
though,
want to
because
go
like,
there. But I mean, people are obsessed with the race course and all this. It's like for me, when that place sits 10,000, our in America, you can find a 10,000 stadium practically within 30 feet of anywhere. I mean, our garbage football stadium for UConn football sits, I want to say it's 35,000. I
yeah,
mean, people are looking at, oh, yeah, it's like 10,000 people. Well, Aaron can speak to this. I bet you a lot of your high school football stadiums over there seat more than 10,000. You know what I mean? It's just, but no, I
Yeah.
love the story of it. I love the sport of it, specifically the sport of it in the lower league, the relegation, and of course the gentlemen who were involved in it as well.
no, I love that. I think that's like a perfect way to put it, because you're right. Like, community didn't just begin with Wrexham. I think it was just highlighted, and it actually is mentioned in the doco. I think even earlier days, it's like that's why a lot of people can relate to it. It's kind of how I relate to it. My Australian rules football team is Geelong, and they've got a very similar vibe, because it is about, well, for them it's about a country town, and it's about a community, and that's what that club's about. And I was born into that. I didn't have a choice. My parents went for it. It's like that's how I was brought into it. But with Wrexham, that's how I identified with it, purely because of that community feel. Yes, it's a smaller ground. Yes, it doesn't have as much as, even my AFL, Australian Rules Football team. That seats about 35,000 as well. But I think the thing now is it's like, that's the Mecca because of Wrexham as a team. So, like you said, man, I think you're right. Like there is a million Wrexhams out there, and I think that's why a lot of people identify with it too. And Aaron, how did you like? It's easy to say, I watched the doco and I love Wrexham and that's that. But what made you keep watching it? What made you keep watching the team and find the team and listen to the team and stuff like that?
Okay, so for me, the the documentary definitely like the town part of it, like that was definitely it, it appealed more to me than it sounds like it did Chris. I did like that, and I think what you were just saying is exactly what it seemed to. I mean, it seemed a lot of like our local towns. You know what I mean? We got a town just down the road called Terre Haute, and it's about the same size as Wrexham. It's been kind of down. You know what I mean? Been down kind of lately. Very similar, hardworking town. And that's our biggest town in our little area here. So it kind of hit home a little bit there. But as far as what kept me watching, it's hard for me to explain because um I at first I just kind of watched, like I said, just I'd check scores every once in a while, just how they doing, I wonder, or something pop up. And then I can remember when the first game against or when we played Coventry, that come across like on ESPN or something. I saw, oh, that's cool. It's cool. And of course I looked into it and see how it was. And then see what like just as the season was going, I knew we were close and I knew we were they were in a tight battle. And then what really got me to start watching, I think, was Ben Foster. And not that I had any idea who Ben Foster was, because I've never been a soccer fan ever. I've never followed it. I don't know anything about soccer up until now. You know what I mean? But it was when they signed him, I hadn't heard of Ben Foster, but I knew who Manchester United was. And so, of course, the headline was Manchester United goalkeeper signs with Wrexham, and I'm like, oh wow, that's a big deal. So that's what kind of got me. Let's check what's going on here. Like, why would they do how did they get him? You know what I mean? Because I knew they were small, the non-league football. I'm like, how in the world? And so then that's when I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and get National League TV and I'm gonna watch some games. And then once I started watching the games, I was hooked. I was like, I can't believe I've not been watching this all my life. This is amazing. Especially with our games. You know how we are. We always go down
Oh yeah.
two and then we come back and win 5-2. You know what I mean? It's unbelievable.
Yeah. The beauty of
For
league.
me, it was that original Gene Keats playoff run, the
Oh,
first season of the takeover. I don't think Gene Keats gets enough credit for what he did with that roster of what he had.
oh,
It was kind of a mismatch of a lot of different players of different levels. Not only that, but a lot of different personalities that were thrown together. I mean, a lot of them knew they were going out the door. I mean, there was no question that they were not coming back the following year. Zero chance. It's hard to play under those circumstances. And that first year where I started following, they made a heck of a playoff run that year and a strong push at the end of the season. And that really what stuck me in sport first, and of course gambling. So but yeah, I mean, just they really put on a strong run, and it really that first year was really I don't think like he gets enough credit for what he was dealt with and how he dealt with the team and with that entire roster. I think he did a good job with that, and that's really what's meant. And again, the Dover game, stuff like that. I mean, just the way they
oh,
play as a team, it's super
okay.
exciting. It is like that lower league football where basically anything can happen, and the different styles of football you see. Obviously, I watch a lot of Premier League, being a Liverpool fan, and the ball now is always on the ground. It never goes up. And seeing at the lower league, I didn't realize you could play different styles of soccer to the extent of that is. I mean, you can play more direct, but there's whole teams like a few weeks ago, we had African Staley. That was a game that we lost. It must have been, I don't know, probably about a month ago. And just seeing that, they played very direct. Everything's in the air. Everything. You don't see that at all at the Premier League. And seeing completely different strategies work because the athletic ability is much more of a lower level. I think it makes it for a very fascinating sport.
That's a
That's
great, great,
awesome.
great take on that one. And I'm gonna now ask Rousey, because this is
What are you
something that we don't
questioning
really
me
get to.
for? Why are
Yeah,
you
I'm asking
questioning me? I'm the
because you're king
fucking
of the
host.
fuckheads. You're the king of the fuckheads, mate. Of course, I'm going to ask you questions. King of the fuckheads. What am I going to do? Well, because for you, you have a very similar story, to Aaron in the sense that around that Coventry game. But obviously, we all know that you grew up in Coventry. If you listen to the show, if you just joined in for this first time ever, this is Rouse's life. In the sense that the same thing. You were drawn in. What was the big factor for you other than obviously, giant killing Coventry off in the FA Cup? What was the final blow for you to be like, you know what? I'm gonna make a podcast. I'm gonna be a part of this shit like for life. What made you do it?
Look, I think like obviously growing up in England, first 7 years of my life I spent in Coventry in a small town called Nuneaton. And football is very much a part of your DNA. Like it so I always knew about football. I followed it. I quite enjoyed watching it. Um, Especially when I came out here and got into the Australian game and well, when they made the World Cup for the first time. But so I always followed it. But it was more from a distance because you do the Aussie thing, you got to go for an Aussie team, Aussie rules football, all that sort of bullshit. But I don't know. It's just one of those things. Like I followed it from a distance. I would watch Coventry. I'd watch a bit of Manchester United. I had heard about Wrexham, and I had heard about some of the lower league teams in the National League, especially paid a bit of attention to Kidderminster as well. And Yeah, and Swansea as well was another one I was watching. But because my parents used to take me on holidays to South Wales when I was a kid. I got plenty of pictures of me in South Wales, having on decent holidays. So it was always there. And then I was kind of watching from a distance, and then the story just hooked me. The story just got me, and um it really just grew and grew and grew. And then like I've found myself watching more and more about Wrexham, consuming Wrexham content, all that sort of stuff. And then the Coventry game happened, and then that was it. I was just completely changed me. I was like, wow, they just beat my boyhood team. And they're just unstoppable. And I loved their fighting spirit because I felt like it emulated closely what us Aussies go through. They refer to the Aussie battler. Um, I felt like there was some sort of connection there and kinship. And then the podcast, obviously, that we started, grew out of that because we felt that passionate about this shit that we decided that we want to talk about it and see what the fuck happens. And lo and behold, 6 months
Here we
later,
are.
we're here and in fairly good position with some amazing fans. I mean, guys, what's it like being a fuckhead? What's it like putting up with me in some of my weird moments? Who wants to take
It's
that one?
fantastic. It's fantastic because it makes me work really hard to find something to get back at you. Like I enjoy the banter, the back and forth between we have a lot of fun on the chat, which actually has been kind of dead here the last week or so. I think maybe just because we got killed last weekend, but
Yeah,
but but yeah, it's been a little dead here lately. But and then I've been busy, and so I haven't been on there myself. But yeah, I enjoy the banter. It's fun. God, I love being a fuckhead. That's one of the best parts of my day. Anytime I get bored, I'm like, let's check the chat. Let's see what's going on in the chat.
See what's
The
happening.
main the main thing I like about it is, as you guys know, I'm not very active on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. I find it to be very toxic, so I don't really get that online banter back and forth via the social media outlets. So I just like going on there, and as well as we have a few local Welsh people who are fuckheads as well, but most of us are international, and they don't. We kind of have a different experience than them, as you know. We're watching. Excuse me, we're watching from afar, and knowing that other people are going through the same experience as me, and be able to share that outlook on the team is rather enjoyable, and as well as all the shit that we get into, it's fun as well.
It's absolute shit show, isn't it? Like I think the biggest thing for me is like, when you guys join in and joined in, like, because I want to say that this I might be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure this might be Fuckhead 1 and 2, like in terms of order of joining the ranks. I want to say, what do you reckon, Rousey? Am I?
No, Will was the first.
Oh, that's right, Will, because
Yeah,
Will
yeah,
doesn't
Will.
use the Discord, so and that's just and that's another thing. You don't have to use the Discord if you're a fuckhead, and I think that's the best part. But yeah, like you said, like the banter we get up to, and the fact that it's all hours of the night too for us. Like right now, when we're recording this, it is midnight, and for me, it's like cool. With you guys, it's like 9:45 or whatever it is in the morning, or and that's cool to me because no matter what time, I'm never truly alone. Does that make sense? Like
Oh, that
I'm
just
never
went
really
dark.
yeah. I don't know if it went dark or wholesome. I don't know which way I'm going with it. I don't know if it was a traumatic thing or but it's like it's cool to have that because I'll message Chris and you up like what's your day been like, or or Aaron,
Yeah,
like
I
you're
mean, a
on.
lot of the times you and I mean, we video chat. I mean, we voice chat through most of the matches nowadays,
Yeah,
you and I. And
yeah,
I mean, we talk a
100%.
little bit about the match, but most of it, we're just talking about each other's lives. We're enjoying the
Exactly.
game and just talking about life. Just, I like
That's
to
it.
consider us, more than just stuckheads. We're actually friends.
We're
We care about
friends.
each other's lives and the impact that, certain events has on people. That's really cool. I can say I'm friends with a couple of guys that live, halfway around the world. That's really neat. And as well as Aaron himself,
Yeah.
granted, he was in Indiana, but I got a friend who lives. It's cool to know that if I ever do a cross country trip, I could go see Aaron and check him out. It's cool. Really makes
Yeah, I
the
like
world
that.
small.
That's a
Yeah.
really good way to put it. It makes the world small in the best way possible.
Mhm.
Like
Mm.
even Rousey and I have never met. Like it still blows my mind that we haven't met. And it's because he is literally how long did we say the drive would be, Rousey, if one of us was to visit the other?
It's 41 hours in
Jesus
total of
Christ.
total driving.
Of total driving.
Wow.
Jeez. That's not stops. That's not like that's just complete just V line to him. And I think that again, like you said, you talk about those things, or you talk about, going to the race course, which, can sometimes feel quite far away, but with this kind of community, it doesn't feel like that. So no, we
I
really
got this
appreciate
image
it.
in my head all of a sudden of Adrian on one side of the Nullarbor and me on the other side of the Nullarbor, and we're slowly running towards each other across the floor. Adrian!
Slowest what do you call it, slow-mo run to each other, like
Yes.
If you
what was
don't
it,
know the Nullarbor, it's the world's longest, straightest road.
it's the longest. Like crossing the Nullarbor is like one of the hardest things to do as well because of the heat and just the heat and the fact that if you break down in the Nullarbor, like no one's coming to change your tire, like no one's coming to to whatever it is, fix up your car. Like you're kind of stranded. So yeah, I don't think I'd drive to you, Rousey. I definitely think I'd fly. That's for sure.
So I just we're going to put this out to both of you guys right now. Bit of a put you on the spot type thing, but if you could ask one question, no matter what the question, just one question of
Oh, no.
me or Adrian, now is your chance. Ask it, no matter what the question. We'll start with Chris. So if you got anything you want to ask us that we have to answer, and we cannot say no or no comment, we have to answer it. Go for your life. What would it be?
Oh, I don't know. Let's keep it light. Let's just keep it light. Let's keep it Wrexham focus.
There you go.
Let's say you're in a World War II. You're in a foxhole. You got to charge up that line. You got to run up that hill. There's one player that would be your commander who's going to lead you up that hill and inspire you to take that leap into almost certain death. Who would be that? Who would be your leader?
I already know Rousey's answer, but you want to
Phil
do you want to say it
Parkinson.
anyways?
Phil
Oh,
Parkinson.
I thought you'd say Elliot Lee and his extra
Yeah, I
bit
was
of
leaning
leadership.
towards Luke Young. That's what I
No,
was
no,
leaning towards.
he'll be my foxhole buddy. He'll be like the dude that I snuggle up to at night. If anyone's gonna leave me, it'll be the mighty Phil Parkinson.
Yeah, that's a good one. What's funny for me is like I'm thinking of like just pure like protection from like the world around me. So I'm thinking of like Stephen Fletcher, like just like the Viking that he is, just fucking barreling down people, and I'm just running behind him, like woohoo! Like I'm like getting a clear run out of it. So I'd probably go Fletcher, or probably Fletcher.
See, when I think of Fletcher, I more think of like him carrying me out of a burning building.
Yeah, for sure. And like he has to have the man bun like loose, so it'd be like flowing hair too. Be like, yeah, what's the like I just think of like all the Always Sunny like bits that I can think of now, just like the music that comes with it that would just be it would be majestic. What about you, Chris? What if you were to have someone run you out of a burning building? Who would you burning building out of a foxhole, who would you go?
I feel like probably Luke Young. The guy's just such a beast and such a leader,
Fearless
leader by
leader.
example. I don't feel
I
like
agree.
anything phases that man. But
What
hey Rousey, you don't really like. I mean, not saying you don't like It's Always Sunny, but what drove you to Wrexham? I know. Talk with Adrian. He's a big It's Always Sunny fan like myself, so that was his original kind of into it. What about you? Just a documentary?
Yeah, I was just bored one night and stoned, and I thought, well, this is a Disney show that looks interesting. I don't know what it is, but I knew what Wrexham was, so I turned it on, had a look, and that was it. So it was
all,
a very high decision one night.
all I'm thinking of is Rousey's
Did you
like
like binge
fucking
the whole first season? Was the whole first season out, or did you
Yeah,
catch it
yeah,
in the
not
middle of
binged
it?
the
Or
whole first season, the whole lot. Just
that's so good.
yeah, just yeah, got through it, and then it just got hooked, and yeah, I just watched it the next day again, and I was a bit more sober minded, so I took it all in a bit better. But yeah, then I was hooked. Then I was totally hooked. But yeah, I first started watching it when I was a bit baked.
I
Just
feel like all Rousey
looking for
stories
someone.
start off with I was a little bit baked. And like, it just doesn't matter what he's doing in life. He could be like, yeah, so I took my driving test and yeah, I started off, I was a little bit baked. But like, like I feel like your stories just ramp up from there. But that is a cool point of view. Like it is it's a similar thing where, I think I did actively seek it out because yeah, always being an Always Sunny fan. I was like, oh, Rob's doing this thing and I'm a big Deadpool fan as well. Like I know that's such a basic bitch answer, but like, it's like, I love me some Deadpool. So, and it always seems to the movies always seem to release weirdly like on my birthday weekend. Like the first movie and the second movie, I think both of them did or one of them did exactly on the day. So I'm like, oh, like I don't know, it's a nostalgia thing. So for me, it was like, well, why not? Two of my favorite things colliding, Deadpool and Always Sunny. And then probably my passion is sport. Like it just seemed like a good fit. But Aaron,
Yeah, we got to
I'm a
get
kind of
Aaron's question.
I want to know before he gets to his question. I want to ask you, what was your foxhole? Who would you
Oh,
like to lead you out?
who would I want to lead me out? Oh,
Mhm.
does it have to be Wrexham related, or can it just be anybody?
Oh, I don't know,
Yeah.
Chris. You're the question asker.
sure, anyone in the world, my buddy.
Oh, I don't know. Probably to lead me. Um, gosh, I guess. You know what? I think I'm gonna cheat and just go with Rousey's answer. I like Phil Parkinson. You
Yeah,
gotta have Phil. Phil's a leader. Phil's a
My
leader.
man.
I'd fight. I'd fight for Phil. I'd fight for Phil.
yeah. You know
Fuck
what?
yeah.
I think if there was ever I don't know, a movement, because there are in any sport, and you guys will all know it from different teams, whether it be Wrexham or anywhere else, there will be people being like, Park, you should get the sack, blah, blah, blah. And if that chatter ever gets louder, I know the four of us will just shut that shit down.
Yeah.
We will all just shut that shit down.
Right,
I will
Aaron,
be
come on,
curious to
mate.
see how
Hit
far
us
he
with.
can go.
Yeah,
We'll be
that's
curious to
true.
see how many leagues we can go up with Parkinson when we are going to hit that spot where we're going to need a championship league or Premier League
He'll
coach.
take us. He'll take
It'll
us.
be interesting to see.
I'm pretty positive he has the skill set to take us all the way. But
I guess it just depends on
Yeah.
how long it takes us as well, because of that. Not, I'm not calling him old, but maybe I am. But it does go by years as well.
I mean, look,
it
if Ange Postecoglou can make it to being a Premier League coach for one of the biggest football teams in England,
coaching
then,
South Melbourne down the road.
yeah, from that to that, then Phil Parkinson can go from National League coaching to Premier League coaching.
It's a fair point.
Mark Robbins has done it for Coventry as well. So he's took him from League Two all the way up to Championship, almost to Premier League. It's doable. So, but anyway, Aaron, enough. Let's get your question, mate. Let's go.
All right. Well, I think you may have an idea where this is going. Fuck, marry, kill. Fuck, marry, kill. Rob, Ryan, and Humphrey Kerr.
Oh shit. Oh no.
Oh, can't you just all three fuck?
Oh no.
Go, Rousey. You go first, mate.
I don't know how to answer that one. That's a tough one.
I think
He's
this
thought
one's
about
pretty
this
easy.
one.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
I'd say marry would be Rob McElhenney, because I feel like he's in touch with his emotions and he's just a downright good dude. So, we'll go with Rob McElhenney to marry. Kill. Oh,
he's gone straight to the kill. He's avoiding the fuck. All right. Because I wanted the same description that you gave for the reasoning of marry, like he's tender, he's loving. I want you to talk about why you would bang whoever you pick.
Okay, so kill, I would have to say, so tough. Ryan Reynolds.
Whoa. Okay.
Oh, I didn't see that coming.
No, I was going dude, my number one pick for fuck was Ryan Reynolds.
Because he's a Deadpool and he can't really be killed anyway because he's a Deadpool, but it would be interesting to.
Oh, that's a good way to good way to work it around.
And then marry. Oh no, fuck would be obviously Humphrey Kerr, because I feel like he can just sweep me up in his arms and his big 6'4" arms, and I can be his little spoon. He can be my big spoon.
I just imagine Humphrey Kerr picking up Rousey, and it's like, I can be your hero, baby. And he's picking up Rousey is this beautiful, beautiful, loving scene. You know what? I'd see that. So you got to tell Humphrey next time. If we're any form of communication with Humphrey, Rousey, you're gonna have to tell him that. Hey, I chose you to fuck over Ryan Reynolds. Because I thought mine was pretty easy. I went, Rob, marry.
Imagine I'd go running down the Mold Road or something and see Humphrey be like, Humphrey, I'll suck your dick.
Yeah, this is what I said I'd do from day one. And you know what? And I think that's what Rousey would do. I actually don't question that. When some people say stuff, you're like, you'd never do that. No, legit, Rousey would do that. So,
oh, no.
No, mine is very I thought mine was the easy answer, and maybe you guys, we'll get you guys to answer it too. But mine was Rob, marry, fuck Ryan Reynolds, and I'm hesitant to kill Humphrey because I love Humphrey. But I feel like he'd be a gentleman about it. He'd be like, nah, good show. I understand. He'd be pretty understanding about it all. So, that's where my mindset goes. Chris, were you in the same boat as me? It was it's quite similar.
I kind of it's difficult because I could go two ways. I'd either want to marry or kill Humphrey because I'd either want to marry Humphrey because we have a lot in common. He's big into World War II stuff. He's also big into Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that, which I am really into,
Oh,
like
me
House of
too. Me too.
Cthulhu and all that. So I play a lot of D&D. So we actually have the most in common. But I'd also want to kill him as well because his wife Megan
Adrian
Gantz is
has
one of
a
the
raging hard on right now.
You said D and
Just
D, and my D went up. Like,
yeah, he's like
like you put the
being all
D
over
in
the
D and
place
D.
right now.
He's
Yeah,
got a
he's
raging Elliot
but then I'd also want to kill him because Megan Gantz, his wife, is one of the funniest, intelligent. She's also drop
The
dead gorgeous
best.
people alive, and so
Yep.
I want to kill him so I can get with his wife. So, but we'll leave the wives out of it. So I would go with marry Humphrey, fuck Rob, and then kill Ryan.
Wow,
all right.
Ryan's
There we
getting
go.
killed. What the fuck? Like it's
Okay,
been
all right.
two for two
Aaron,
kill.
Aaron, you
Aaron,
got to
save his
answer your
life
own
for God's
question,
sake.
mate. Go for it, mate.
You know,
Answer your own
Save
question.
Ryan
I
Reynolds.
I thought I was gonna be on my own, but I was gonna say exactly the same thing. I'm marrying Humphrey. I'm killing. You know what? I'll change it. Well, we're gonna kill Rob. I'll kill Rob and have sex with Ryan.
Right.
How about that?
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, I'm
That
good with
works.
that.
I
They're
really
both
hope.
beautiful
I just
people,
got to
so
say this, like, I
Yeah.
mean, Rob McElhenney's wife, total MILF. Like, she is stunning. I just
I
watched a
kind of
movie with her in called it's on Netflix. It's called
just know
Champion.
where this is going.
And it's
That
her.
Woody Harrelson movie.
Yeah, Woody Harrelson. Fucking such a good movie, and she is stunning. So, Rob, mate, hats off to you. That is just mate. She's stunning.
But you know what? I really hope that Ryan and Rob are just like I want to watch some Wrexham content today, and they just somehow stumble across this video. I really hope that, and they're just like, wow, these guys are really like wholesome. They're talking about how they fell in love with the club, and then it's like, Rob, you're gonna get fucking murdered.
we're banned. We're banned from the race course. We're banned from the
Oh,
race course now.
for sure. Dude, I
No.
think honestly, if Rousey doesn't have a photo up in every place in Wrexham before he goes, then he will have been doing his job wrong because he should not be allowed within 10 feet of any fucking place that supplies liquor of any sort.
All right.
What are your favorite Christmas movies? I mean, we're coming up on the holidays here, right around the corner. Favorite
That's
Christmas
good.
movie. Let's go
Christmas
around with that one.
movie.
That's a good question.
Because mine's actually Wrexham related with that one. And it's not a joke. It actually is my favorite Christmas movie. We talked about this before, Adrian. Just Friends.
Yes.
With Ryan Reynolds.
Yes.
I assume you haven't seen it yet, but that is my ex-girlfriend got me into that. And it's one of the best Christmas movies ever.
I saw that because he posted like a throwback photo with him and his castmate on his socials. And it was just, reminding me of what you said, which was, that's your favorite Christmas movie. Because mine is like such a, again, basic bitch answer. Like I kind of like Home Alone. I don't know why. It's just like it's just a classic. I think because I grew up with it. It's one of those things where, it's Christmas. When I see that on the TV, I go, oh, it's Christmas time. Like that that and Mariah Carey fucking screeching through every shopping center within every country in the world. I bet you even places that don't celebrate Christmas have Mariah Carey blaring out. All I want for Christmas is you. So, but no, who wants to go next?
Jeez, I don't know, like the XXX gift.
Of course, yours is like that. Like I thought possibly he would go, you know what? Mine's not Christmas related. It's more Thanksgiving because it's someone getting stuffed. Like I was like waiting for that kind of gag, but that didn't come out.
Oh, I don't know.
Aaron, what about you, mate?
Oh, I've got to say probably National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation's probably my favorite.
That's up there, man. That's up
That
there.
is such a good one.
That's classic.
Now I'm mad that I didn't say that. You know when you like say someone says they're like, shit, that's a really good one. Damn, that is a good one. Fuck.
Well,
Yeah,
for all you guys
I
out
could
there who,
spend all day.
like Ryan Reynolds, Just Friends, man, watch that movie. If you guys have seen, it's a good one to watch with the kids too. It's not, it's a great movie.
I
What
gotta
about
watch
Die
that.
Hard? Die Hard's a Christmas movie, isn't it?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Die Hard. I almost said that, and then but I really like National Lampoons.
I really like National Lampoon, so no, I'm not gonna say that one. But like, I like that. Like, yeah, again, those are the kinds of movies that you see on the TV that, and like, I don't watch much free to air anymore. Like, sorry, like cable or anything like that, where
Mhm.
you're when I say you're forced to watch something, but you know what I mean. Like, something's like got a
Yeah.
schedule. I'm usually on a streaming service, but there is something about just casually, just all right, I'll flick to the channels and see what's on, and then you've just got all these random ones, and you end up watching a movie that's technically an hour and a half long that goes for 4 hours because of ads, like
Yeah.
and you don't care because you're like, it's Christmas, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
When I think of that type of thing, I always think about Christmas Story. You shoot your eye out.
yes,
That movie,
Oh,
that
yeah.
yes, every
that's a
time.
classic
But
TV. You know,
that's a very good one.
Yeah,
Well, mine,
that runs like 24 hours on TBS, I think, every Christmas,
yeah,
doesn't it?
I
something like
mean,
that. Yeah.
oh shit,
I'm a
I didn't
sucker
know
for
that.
the Home Alone movies.
Yeah, same here,
Yeah,
man.
me too.
You got
Yeah,
to
they're
have
great.
that. I mean, but to be fair, those parents should not have kids.
They're the
No,
worst parents ever.
It's just the
they're the
worst.
worst
Terrible.
parents.
Oh no, imagine this.
Unbelievable.
Imagine this, boys. Let's do a Home Alone remake
Yes.
where Rob and Ryan play the two burglars, and Humphrey can play the little Macaulay Culkin character.
There
Yeah.
we go.
You know what? Like I grew up, well, I still support Celtic as a football club in Scotland because my mum's Scottish. Anyways, long story short, they do a Christmas like video every year that's to like advertise their store because they're either wearing stuff, but it's like very Christmas themed. So like they do Elf on a Shelf, but they're like put like the players or like the owners in like different bits. I would very much like a Wrexham version of that because I can imagine the production level would shit on
I
any
love
kind of.
I love those
Yeah.
Elf on the Shelf memes. It's like, so we've had Elf on the Shelf, and then you have a picture of, but now we have, and you've got a picture of Dwayne the Rock Johnson with a rooster on his head, and it's a cock on a
Oh,
rock.
cock on a rock.
But
Damn.
anyway, look, it's been great. We have a game to get and watch and get set up for, and
Oh, we're playing
going for
tonight.
the
Oh
best.
yeah.
Yeah, we're playing tonight, so we've
I'm
got the
just kidding. I was just kidding.
best part of an hour for this. But we guys, Chris, Aaron, and the rest of our fuckheads, um, we really appreciate what you guys do, and I think probably the one of the biggest things that we like to get across is that we're just like you. We're not any more special than any of you guys. This is just a community of people, and that's obviously what we're trying to create. So, guys, if you want to get involved in it, by sure, just hit the link tree down below, and you'll see all the links to join up. And me and Adrian will reach out to you. So, guys, Chris, Adrian, Aaron, we love you. And we wish you guys a very, very Merry Christmas and have a safe holiday period. And thank you for joining us here today.
All
Happy
right, sounds good.
holidays.
Merry
Up the town,
Christmas.
boys.
Up the town, boys. Let's go.
Up the
Let's go
town.
win this. All right. See you guys.
See ya.